Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I'm talking about some features that are coming in 2024, but ones that we haven't really heard too much about from CitizenCon. Some more obscured or hidden features that I think are very likely going to turn up during the year. These are informed by stuff that Cloud Imperium have been saying over the last few months, but also the roadmap tracker and some other sources that I may have. So let's jump straight in. Bounty Hunting version 2.0. So Cloud Imperium have been working on a sort of updated bounty hunting set of gameplay for a kind of 2 years now, without much in the way of actual additions to the game yet. So this is going to enable players to track criminals via the Mobilglass security app, linked to distress beacons, comm arrays, air traffic control systems, cameras, NPC informants. This will rely on various new back-end tech, including virtual AI, the NPC scheduler, and the security service. Some of this is sort of some of the parts of the wider dynamic universe stuff that we know Cloud Imperium had worked on and have sort of a closed system where they're improving that and doing some stuff on that. But it's, the wider dynamic universe system is quite far out. But some of these systems and some of the prerequisite systems for this look likely that they're either complete or going to be completed within the next year. So Bounty Hunting version 2, what would that actually be in terms of gameplay? Well, you'll be flying around taking new types of bounty hunting missions, and you'll be able to track and find bounties. You'll be able to get bounties on foot. You'll be able to get bounties in their ships. There'll be dead or alive sort of sets of bounty hunting missions. If you have to bring back someone alive, you'll have to stun them or take them out and then bring their body back. We've seen Cloud Imperium's solution for bringing bodies back now. You'll be able to restrain sort of people that have been taken down or surrendered, and then you can put them in sort of like a cryopod hover trolley. You can load this onto your ship as cargo. Some ships like the Hawk are getting it changed so they can actually take a sort of one of these pods into the back of the ship rather than sort of placing a person in there. You place the pod in there, and then you take these to security offices, which are going to be part of sort of space stations. You've seen them already to a degree, the sort of military docks that they have there. You can expect a wide range of sort of these bounty hunting missions, a reputation system for it, rewards for that, and the ability to sort of have updated locational information about someone you're tracking, which will be informed sort of when they get cited by any other legal source. So be that a comm array, be that another sort of lawful ship. I'd say Bounty Hunting version 2 is relatively low-hanging fruit in terms of sort of systems and gameplay they can get out. They've been working on it for almost 2 years, and yeah, it looks likely to me that it's near completion. Hacking. This is over 2 years they've been working on this, like 2.5 years. So hacking in terms of Star Citizen will be the sort of mini game associated with breaking into boxes and doors and lots of other stuff. So a bit of a mini game, probably some form of pipe puzzle that appears in your HUD. The feature reads, all backend tech and tasks related to creating the first part of the hacking feature that will be used in future locations and mission updates. When implemented in game, this feature will be used to access systems and areas that have previously been closed to the player. The hacking process will be represented via a minigame that is displayed on the player's HUD visor. You're going to see this used for various types of mission. You'll see it used for events and generally finding loot. Lots of things to hack. Bit of a minigame to do that. Hacking chips and all that sort of stuff will be involved with this as well. So this should be a bit of an update to the current system, as well as a load of new stuff as well. With that in mind, there was actually a tweet from RSI, from Star Citizen the other day, that was showing off lockable cargo containers. So sort of inventory cargo containers, which are lockable. So only you and your sort of party, people you've given authority to, can open them. But they can be opened also with a hacking tool, sort of a hacking chip. That tweet then got deleted because that isn't fully in the game yet. So that's an interesting one. Looks like lockable containers that will be hackable, act as inventory containers that you can put on the exterior of your ship, you can put inside your ship as cargo. Maybe you can open them by destroying them or cutting them as well. They're going to be in game relatively soon. And that feature's pretty old on the tracker. It sort of got discontinued. We didn't know what happened to it, but it looks like it's going to be appearing early 2024. New rep system. So it looks like Cloud Imperium have been building this new reputation system for a while. You can expect new missions and events as well. So just expect a more expansive reputation system that takes into account factions in Pyro, lots of different factions in Star Citizen. Sort of just gives you more choices and more options, but also anything you do in the game is likely to affect your reputation in some way with some party. If you're doing loads of stuff for the Nine Tails, well, the security forces probably aren't going to like you anywhere, that sort of stuff. But yeah, tons of new missions, potentially some new events, sort of as large as Xenothreat and that sort of stuff. We know that they've been building barge heists, which are sort of a dynamic event where it's a mission where you can buy access to, and there are these barges flying around on Crusader, and you can basically go there and raid them and loot them for high value materials and stuff. There's loads of cargo containers, sort of big shipping containers, which you will need to find the access codes for, and you can work out sort of what's in them potentially by the markings on the outside. But there's Nine Tails there, there's security forces there, and there's lots of other players that may have bought access there as well. So it's a bit manic, and some people are going to absolutely love that, but expect a ton of other missions making use of all of the new features that get released in 2024 and more beyond that, sort of evolutions of the current missions. And talking about that, data is cargo. That's something that Cloud Imperium look like they are able to probably do relatively quickly now. So data as cargo basically requires a UI for ships like the Herald, ships like the Mercury Star Runner, to be able to make use of their computer systems, make use of their data storage, and then move that data between areas and sell it like cargo. This could play into hacking gameplay a little bit in the future as well, being able to intercept data and that sort of stuff. But getting data, literally moving it from place to place, selling it, getting it as potential loot and salvage as well, things like that is a possibility. And I just think it expands out the types of cargo in the game. Land claims. So we know that Cloud Imperium are building out bases and trying to get base building in 2024 if possible. But land claims, they were being worked on, and I believe when I talked to Aaron Roberts a while ago, he wanted to get them in game all the way back in 2018. So land claims, basically the ability in UEE territories to go, I am claiming this piece of land, I put a beacon there, bam, now this land has legal protections, meaning that if you do something there, like exploit the resources or are there for too long a time, you're trespassing, and that is effectively a crime in that area, and you can get a criminal rating for all that. Potentially, security forces will come there and deal with you. That's the sort of stuff that land claims allows, but also it's the sort of basis of being able to then, in UEE territory, build your base, but also, as I said, exploit the resources there. Something else that Cloud Imperium have been working on for a while, new ammo types and weapon types. So expect these to potentially be dropped into the game. I think it's more for Squadron 42s while they were trying to get them out, but it looks like they've completed a lot of that stuff, and they're trying to get a load of these Squadron 42 features into Star Citizen's Persistent Universe over the next year. I suspect that's going to be one of them, along with some like weapon updates and balance and that sort of stuff too. Arena Commander updates. You can expect to see new maps, new experimental modes, stuff like that. I love the current iteration of Arena Commander. Very, very excited to see anything else that they can get in there. The RSI Apollo. So I think that it's now more likely that we're going to see the RSI Apollo, that medical ship, next year in game in 2024 by the end of the year. Obviously they've started some work on it according to the progress tracker. We know that Cloud Imperium are working on a big chain of RSI ships as well, because the RSI ships, if you work on all of them together, they share a load of assets, right? They share a load of art and corridor sections, doors, lots and lots of stuff is similar. It's actually very quick for them to build out other ships, especially the smaller ones, like the Apollo. I say smaller compared to the things like the Polaris they're planning to get into the next year as well, and things like the Galaxy and the Zeus and all this other cool stuff. Something I forgot about, but it's worth mentioning now, permissions and security system I think is going to be coming in 2024. So this would be a system for going, you are part of my party, you have access to these ship systems. Now, admittedly, this is much more likely to happen after they've got the resource management system in, because that sort of adds to the multi-crew. But they have been working on the sort of security systems as well that goes, you might need a clearance level to be in here, you might need particular key cards or whatever to get into doors and elevators. It's all sort of part of the same sort of thing. Obviously, some of this is for NPCs to be able to get to work or move around a station. If you've got certain mission or sort of certain rep, then you're going to be able to get into certain areas. It's all sort of part of that. There's a few things as well that Cloud Imperium have been working on for quite a while now. Some of these projects sort of approaching 3 years that they've been working on them in some way, and they've got partial implementation in the games, some of them, but some of them been paused and started again or whatever, but they've had this long sort of cycle time, and it looks like a lot of that may be coming to an end with releases. So, underground facilities. We know that they've been working on the sort of depots and other things which are very similar to the underground facilities, although more like the top sections of them in a lot of cases. But underground facilities, they're big, sprawling sort of tunnels and systems and underground warehouses, things like that. And again, I say they're very similar to the depots that we saw at CitizenCon, but these are big traversable areas offering loads of different opportunities for gameplay and can be built under these hubs or whatever else they want to build them under. They've been working on it for a while. We saw it at last year's CitizenCon, I believe, in 2022. So yeah, they're getting there with some of this stuff, and I'm expecting to see some implementations of it. Something else sort of associated or similar, building interiors. Again, initiative been spanning almost 3 years already. This is to create building interiors for loads of different types of building, but especially at landing zones and around like ArcCorp and Lorville, stuff like that, so you can land on the tops of these buildings and cities, or go into more of these buildings and do missions there and have a load of generated content there. But also expect to see other areas other than Area 18 on ArcCorp, for example, because they can go, well, actually, we can have Area 13, and we can have all these building interiors there that, yes, some of them are for missions, but also some of them are for shops and other stuff like that. And lastly, another sort of 3-year initiative, or a long-term project, shall we say. This one is a bit of a cheat because it was mentioned in the engine demo at CitizenCon, but it's Maelstrom. So this is breakability and physical damage of ships and potentially structures, a few other things as well. And they want to sort of have this ability to have the hull kind of as its own component, which can break apart, but also as part of the resource management system, individual components can all be damaged separately. Ships aren't going to break apart that often. Maybe they will, based on the type of damage they take and where they take it, but you can have large ships, big chunks of them can be sort of ripped off and explode and destroyed and all this sort of stuff. You sort of crash into the ground, sort of crash planet side in your ship, well, there's going to be appropriate damage and your ship will explode apart. It sort of makes a more dynamic scene for ship crash sites and all that sort of jazz too. Boom! That's where I am with other features that I think are coming into 2024 beyond what we saw at CitizenCon and what Jared showed in Inside Star Citizen of the sort of plans for 2024 and the first 6 months of 2024 as well. If you're interested in what features we're talking about, I've got some videos on that and I will link them down below. I'm really interested to know what you think of those features I talked about there, will or won't make it into Star Citizen in 2024. Is there anything there you think I've missed that hasn't already been sort of revealed and talked about at CitizenCon or in the Inside Star Citizen where Gerald talked about the first 6 months of 2024? Whatever your thoughts or questions though, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Ho ho ho, it's me, Father Nordmus. That's right, it's that time again to see who's on my naughty list for who doesn't have a VPN. No, that's Northern Claus! Grass from Northern Claus, Timmy. You should be scared of not having a VPN. As you know, Father Nordmus punishes all that disobey him. It's the perfect Nordmus present, Timmy. There's no excuse. I can see all of your website history, and I'm going to sell all of your data, Tim.
NordVPN helps protect your online activity, gives you greater accessibility to the content you want by changing your location, and much, much more. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer before Das Northern Claus finds you. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. For December, we are giving away a Drake Corsair. It's the winner of the 2953 Ship Showdown and one of the stars of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. This fantastic multi-role, multi-crew, long-range mission runner can do a bit of everything in-game, and it has a penchant for exploration. Just comment on any of my videos during December to be in for a chance of winning that. There are further details in the description below. A big thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel via Patreon or the join button under my videos and becoming a channel member. It will net you some exclusive content from Zin and I, but also it really does help us to be able to create daily Star Citizen content, as does sharing these videos and commenting. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.